Welcome back to Sipas Pimmer Garage. In this video I will show you around in this garage, so basically this video will be garage tour. And to be exact, this is actually not a garage, this is actually old cow house or cow shed or barn or whatever you want to call. But anyways, our father used to have cows in here, so yeah, this is a bit strange place maybe to have garage, but this is actually quite common in Finland to have these all kind of old cow houses transformed to garages or other places, because nowadays this kind of small cow houses that these aren't very popular because it's not very profitable. So back in the day there was like many of these smaller places like this, but nowadays there's only really big farms that are actually profitable. But our father has retired from the farming, so that's why we have converted this place to actually be garage like this. And this isn't like any special cool place, this is just a place that we have like all our unfinished project and old junk lying around and that kind of thing. So yeah, I will show you around and let's see how you like this. Let's start the tour from this cold side. So this is basically old silage silo. So those three concrete walls you can see there. So those have been full of silage at some point. That hasn't been case for a really long time because we turned it into hay bales and that kind of things. But anyways, that's what those were used. Nowadays those are pretty much just really cold and dirty storage place. We of course has the trusty old Valtra here. This used to be our engine crane, but it now has been retired from that. But it's still being used quite a lot, especially during winter to plow the roads, because you can see that we have the big shovel there, and then we have the, I don't know what is that called in English, but anyways, yeah, that's how it is. Then we have the two-post lift here. It's outside here, which is not optimal because it's cold here, like especially now it's -20 around here. So yeah, it's not really usable at this time. But the roof height inside there is not enough to have the two-post lift inside, so that's why it's on this side. You can see that those doors, those are pretty much at the roof height, so yeah, it doesn't fit there. But that's where we have the two-post lift, and this is the most important thing we have in the garage because everything would be really difficult to do without this. So if you have space to put two-post lift, get one. So here on the other side we have our trailer. This is new addition. I think Petri has only really hauled his E30 in this. We did try to look for trailer for really long time, but these are really expensive in the Finland. Well, not really expensive, but expensive, especially the used ones. Those are like 2 to 3 grand, and this was actually pretty much same price as the used ones as new. So yeah, it didn't really make sense to buy old clapped out trailer for same price that you can the new one. This is actually really light one. I think this is like 300 kilograms or something, but you can still haul pretty heavy cars on this, so this is really good for not big cars that we... Okay, the X5 is not that small car, so that one actually can pull a little bit more in this trailer than our other cars. But yeah, this is really handy thing to have when you are working on the cars. Not mandatory, but really good thing to have. So this is basically our machine shop, or if you want to call it like that. So we have the old Köpings lathe here. This is really big lathe and it's actually quite clapped out. Everything is loose and would need some new buses and everything, but yeah, this works and this has been enough for our use, so that's great. You can actually fit quite big wheels here, but yeah, this jack is quite worn out and everything is quite worn out here, so yeah, it's not really high precision work thing, but it's enough for us and it has plenty of power for everything that we do, so this has been really good as addition in our shop. You can actually put longer pieces here than in the older one and bigger pieces in this direction also, so this was really good upgrade from the old one. There was nothing wrong in the old one, but this is bigger and better and so on. Then we have the big mill here, and this is actually really big. I think this may be a little too big, but yeah, I don't know if this can be too big, but I don't know if it shows up in the camera as a big one, but I cannot even reach the top hat here. So I usually have pallet here so that I can actually reach that nut and change the tools and everything. But this itself is like an unfinished project because there's something wrong in this, like this slider here, this was quite stiff. I have taken that apart and fixed everything, so basically it has lubrication problem, so it couldn't get proper lubrication and it was dry, so it was really stiff, but now it moves nicely. Then this axis too, this is also stiff and I did find out the reason. The nut in here it's cracked, so it will bind up a little bit, but it seems to be really difficult to get into that. So yeah, I haven't replaced that yet because I might need to take apart this whole thing, and that's huge stop because these pieces are so heavy that you cannot lift these. You need some kind of crane to lift these pieces. Like I used engine crane for this one, but I don't think you can use engine crane for anything else because everything is so heavy and huge. So yeah, but it has worked for our use. We haven't had that much use for this, but there's projects coming that I will probably use this a little bit more. Betty has done nice organization for these tools, so everything is here. We have all the face mills and other mills and lathe tools, and yeah, everything is there that we have. We don't have very big selection tools, but it has been enough for what we use. There seems to be like forgotten M50 here. I don't know, Betty will do something for that. Then we have turntables and some sheet metal tools here. For these tools I would need to make much more sturdier table. This is like really flimsy one, so it doesn't work for this purpose. So I have designed a different table for this, but I haven't done that yet. I have all the parts for that, but I haven't had time to actually put that together. So yeah, another unfinished project there. On this side I have some parts for my E30 waiting, more on that on the upcoming videos. Then we have new tool here. So this is band shaft that I just got here. This was also much bigger than I thought. So yeah, this is actually really big band saw, but yeah, it fits well together with these tools that we have here. So yeah, old, big and clapped out, but it should work for our use. We did already power that on a little bit. So there's broken contactor and there's broken pneumatic pieces, and there's also broken wires and everything. I need to replace the wires and the pneumatic stuff, and this is something that I did find around here in the garage, but I need to get a few adapters for that, and then new connectors and yeah, new cables. So again, another unfinished project, but this should be a quick one when I get the parts to fix that, so the pneumatic parts and the wires and everything. It seemed to work, and it should be really useful for building exhaust manifolds and exhausters and everything. Here's our big press brake, Chrome cam. I don't know, this is Italy or I don't know, somewhere there. This came in the same deal as the lathe and the mill there, and I did first thought that I will not use this at all because yeah, I didn't actually even know what this is, but actually this has been the most useful tool in these three ones that I have used. So this one I basically use every time I'm here in the garage because this is really useful to bending sheet metal and all kinds of brackets, everything. So yeah, if you can find something this for your garage, maybe smaller one, because this is like 2.7 meters across, this is really handy tool to have, and also something that not many people have in their garage. Many like band shafts and lathes and mills may be a bit more common, but yeah, this is something that you almost never see in someone's personal garage. Then we have the E30 here in the rotisserie. This hasn't seen any action after the previous video I did do in this. I have tried to find time to actually work on this, but it has been really busy couple of last months, so yeah, I haven't touched that at all. Here we have the press conference room, a lot of junk metal here. Actually, many of these metals are useful, so that's why they are here. And oh, we have the pressurized air rolls here, so these are really handy because you can have the pressurized air wherever you want. We also have another one besides the lift here to work on the lift and that kind of things, and this is for the inside. I think there should be a third one somewhere there, but I haven't get that because these are actually quite expensive ones. Then is the random table with random stuff. This needs to be cleaned at some point. We have these drawers here, but these are all falling apart. We are looking for some kind of metal thing that is actually made for this kind of workshop. So yeah, this is just old junk. I think this is my old school table, and those are maybe from my brother's school table, and these are like really old stickers, and yeah. Like I said, this garage is mainly full of unfinished project and old junk, so this is the old junk section. Then some tools here. We are using the Ryobi tools. These are not maybe the best ones, but these are cheap and work for our use. Then we have the belt sander, and in this section we have all the sandblasting things, not very organized, but those are there. This pile of junk here, this is for the E12, so yeah, it will probably be 5 to 6 years that we will put this on the car. And here are our tire machines. These are cheap. What has leaked here? What? Oh, maybe it's that one. Anyways, these are our tire machines. These are the cheapest ones that you can basically get. But yeah, this has been enough for us. I think the calibration is this one. It's throwing off, so you maybe need to put like 2/3 of the weight that this shows. But yeah, you can still balance tires on this one. And even though this is maybe the cheapest bus that you can get, I have still seen much worse and used much worse tire machines that this is. So yeah, these has been not the best ones, but these have been enough for us. And this thing here, this is my old wheel polishing machine. There was E36 hub here that you could bolt on the wheels and you could polish this because this rotates the wheels. There's old diff there and that kind of things. But this hasn't been used for a long time. I really need to take this apart because I don't need this anymore. I'm sick of tired of polishing wheels. So for now on, I will only buy wheels that have the stainless steel lips so that I don't need to polish those. But yeah, I need to take that away at some point. But this has been quite useful tool at the time that I had aluminum lips in the wheels and I need to polish those and so on. Here's my E36. I'm now working on that. Last summer I had the style 39s on that with fat sticky tires and I want to have those in the much wider rims, so that's why I'm now doing white body kit for this E36 of mine. It's still quite on the starting point, but yeah, I will do video about that later. I don't know, will that be 1 or 2 parts, maybe 2 parts, I don't know, depends how long that will take, but those will probably come out closer to the springtime. We have the welder there, and then there's Petri's one there. Petri has been doing some work on that. He has been doing inner fenders for the white body kit, both front and back, and fixing some stuff there. It will also have the M3 C-pillar and the trunk and everything. So yeah, that's something that is happening for Petri's one there. If we go this side here, again more junk here. This is our heating system, so that is just old sauna stove that we have taken out the stones and a couple of holes for the fan, and that is actually really good heating system for here because now it's -22, -20 outside and it's like +15 here inside, so that's fine. This pile here, this is all going for the E12, or well, some have gone out of it and some will go into the car at some point. So yeah, this is just pile of junk for that. There's the transmission for that. There's the E28 front end, so yeah, that will probably go in the car at some point. Then in this section we have all the rear diff parts, so there's maybe, I don't know, 10 different rear diffs exploded here. There's nothing really valuable here, but yeah, you always, when you build the diff, you need some spare parts, so yeah, that's where we get these spare parts. We should organize these much better, but we don't have any shelves to do that, because we only have these kind of cheap ones, and these are really flimsy, and you cannot really store these kind of heavy items for those. I really would like to have more sturdier shelves here, so that I can store all this junk on those. But those are expensive, and of course you can build yourself ones, but that will take time that I don't have. So yeah, this is now the organization that we have. There's also some drive shafts there, and then we have the cardan shafts there. Those are all basically junk, but all the parts from those will be really useful when you are building your custom drive shaft. Then this is the flat table that I still don't have the legs. I need to do that at some point. Again, one unfinished project there. And these are some banners that my friend got from the store that he was working at some point. These are some banners that I did buy from the eBay because those were cheap and cool looking for the garage. Then this, I think this is from the workplace. They were throwing that away, so I wanted that for the garage. This is actually really comfy one to sit, so that's why I wanted that. Here we have all the liquids and that kind of things. So yeah, we have the brake cleaner and the oils and acetones and paints and everything here. This is in the cabinet so that we can lock this and maybe prevent kids from taking those, but yeah, this actually hasn't been locked at any point. And of course, you need to have stickers everywhere. It's not the garage if you don't have stickers here. This is our sanding section. That seems to be a little bit out of date now. We had a lot of different things here, but yeah, I think we have just used those up and I need to get new sanding things here. Here's one of our sofas. So this is now full of parts from Petri's cars. There's the bumper and there's wheels from Petri's car. And I think this is my chunk. I need to organize this because I think none of these will go anywhere. So I need to put this away. Then my E30 is there. I haven't really done anything for that. I did just warm it up and drove it inside and put it on the jack stands. So that we basically live there for the rest of the winter, and I will wake that up on the springtime to drive that next time. Then if we go here, this is another junk section. This is actually full of seals and plastic pieces and rubber parts and everything from the cars. So yeah, this is something that you rarely need, but when you need those, those will be really expensive to buy from the BMW. So that's why I'm storing there. Here are just more junk. There should be, I think these are E30 AC units, and there's one E30 AC unit that actually has the AC. So I have planned, and that's actually that one because you can see the valve there. But anyways, I have planned to put that on my E30, but there's no room for that. You can see there's also the condenser and there's the AC pump and everything. So I have basically all the parts for the AC conversion for my E30, but currently there's no room to put those parts, so I don't know will I ever put those on the car or not. Let's see. Another unfinished project. And up here we have a lot more junk. Everything here is basically something that we don't really plan of using, but those are there if we need at some point. Usually we need to go and get something from the, oh well, there's like the E12 dash and everything there, so yeah, might be useful parts or not. And here's another section of parts that we might use at some point, but probably not, but they're just waiting here. And here's our bar section, if you can call that. Kalle is here all the time. This text here, this is usually lie. There's no, yeah. So yeah, no beer here. If there's beer, those will be drunk immediately. There's old TV and sound system, and yeah, this is all just old junk that I've gathered around. I think this TV is from my friend, and these speakers are my dad's old, and this is old PC from the work, and there's stereo amplifier from my friend, and there's subwoofer from another friend, and I think this pallet here that holds the fridge, that's also from work. I got this because I think this kind of box, this looks really cool, no other purposes, so it just holds the fridge there. In here we have the pool table. As you can see, it's now storing all kinds of junk, so yeah, these are parts from Petri's E30, but we also play the pool quite a bit. At least at some point we did almost every time, but now it has been quite rare, mostly because it's full of junk, so we need more storage space to put parts that are maybe temporary storage, because these parts, these will go to the Petri's car really soon. Then here we have another chunk. I think this is for the E12. These are seats for the E12. These are E34 sport seats, and these are the buffalo leather, so really thick leather here. More stuff here. This bar sign, I think this is a really cool one. I got this from my friend's father. I think this was from a really old bar around here. And yeah, it's here just because it looks cool. I have planned to get this kind of, because this has had the neon tubes here that are of course broken, but I have planned to get some LED ones that look like neon tubes to actually make this glow. I have planned that for a long time, but I haven't got time to do that. So yet another unfinished project. Then I think, yeah, these are all parts from Petri's car. Here's the Petri's school project that is sitting here. It's some kind of drink machine. Kalle is here. And yeah, that's pretty much a big garage section that we are working on the cars. It looks like that, but now we can move to this rooms here. So this has been the room to actually oversee the cows and everything, and yeah, this is now storage for the tires. We actually had the computer and chairs and everything here at some point, but now it's just full of tires and everything, because this has been like unused space here, so I wanted to get some use for that, so I did move all the tires and everything here. So yeah, that's what it is. Then here This is actually the toilet, or has been the toilet when this was the cow hose, but now I did convert this to storage room, so I have my E36 parts here, and there's E12 parts here, and there's some fiberglass parts from Petri's car and bumpers from Petri's car, and yeah, that's a E12 bumper. So yeah, that's just storage space here. This compressor here, this was originally single phase one with a really tiny motor, and it was really struggling to start during the winter when the oil was stiff here. But at some point that motor just died, so I have now replaced that with the bigger 3-phase one, and I have also added bigger pulley there so that this will rotate much faster because it was really slow on the small single phase motor. So yeah, it's now really big 3-phase one. I think it's now on. We have the contactor here to control it. But yeah, it's full. And then we have this big air tank here. So this compressor, this is actually still too small for our use, even with the bigger motor and better ratio. So that's why we have this big tank here to store all the pressurized air. This system, this actually works quite well. And I think this tank, this is another thing that my brother got from his workplace because this was going to trash. I don't know if it's any good, but it has worked for us, so that's fine there. Then last room. So this is the actual front door, and so this was actually the room to store the milk that came from the cows. So there was big tank here, and there was some things to actually get the milk out of the cows at that side, and you can still see the marks of those. But we turned this to engine building room at some point. We did build quite many engines in this room. But after that, this has just turned into storage to storage all the engine parts, because there's no dust or anything in this room, because all the work that we do on the actual garage site. So there's no dust here, so that's we store all the engine parts here, and maybe the more sensitive interior parts and paints and things like that. And because this room has all the drains, we also wash the parts here. So this is our parts washer here that I think is currently broken. I need to fix that. There's something wrong with the motor. It makes some sound, but it doesn't pump the fluid, so I think it's just clogged or something. I had the ultrasonic cleaner here, the Weaver one, that is a really big one, but my friend loaned that because he's building M70 and wanted to clean all the parts, so yeah, that's on loan there, but it will come back. But yeah, this is our engine part room, and there's nothing really valuable here. You might see that there's a lot of heads and everything. I have actually taken down few heads because those are like full of holes and everything, so not good. But basically all these are junk, but these are here because you might be able to save these and use for some project at some point. But yeah, there's nothing like good here. Everything is like junk and something that you cannot really use unless you do a lot of work here. But yeah, these heads and these kind of things, these are getting quite rare and expensive, so even these kind of junk heads that need a lot of work, we still store this. And this is the V8 that will go to the E12, but I also have I think there should be the B44 crank and some other parts somewhere here. Not really organized because they don't have good shelves here, because you can see that these are almost falling apart and that kind of thing. So yeah, we need to do something for that. But this is the engine part room, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There's not much else here in our garage. So yeah, you now know how this garage of ours looks like. Next video probably will be about this E36, because I think in the last video of this car we just got the engine started, but after that I have done a lot of things for the engine and driven this car and so on, so I think that might be the next video to do. But yeah, that's enough for this video, and let's continue on the next one.